Have you at any point confronted an entryway forcibly closed in front of you just to find it was the best thing that might have happened to you? Indeed, today we're plunging profound into the specialty of reversing the situation on dismissal. Roused by, as a matter of fact, the unemotional scholar Marcus Aurelius. Envision you're in our current reality where each no doesn't push you down, in any case, drives you forward. Dismissal. A word that frequently brings a sting can turn into your venturing stone to significance. There's really no need to focus on deceiving destiny, however, it is known to grasp that occasionally the universe is a secret yes to something more noteworthy. So would you say you are feeling neglected or disregarded or underestimated? Now is the ideal time to turn the tables. In this video, we'll unload 13 strong illustrations that help you to outfit the force of dismissal. We're not simply talking hypothesis. These are useful, certifiable systems that you can apply in your day-to-day existence. Before we hop in, we should ensure this shrewdness comes to whatever number as could be expected under the circumstances. Hit that like button and ring the notice chime. It tells YouTube you're finding esteem in the thing we're sharing. Presently, how about we begin on this extraordinary excursion together? Prepared to transform your dismissals into your most noteworthy triumphs. Ignore them as well. At the point when life gives you the brush off of lack of concern. Try not to recoil back. Transcend it. Overlooking the people who disregard you isn't trivial. It's a strong assertion of your self-esteem. Envision this. Somebody chooses you're not worth their time. That is their misfortune, not yours. By deciding not to draw in, you're saying I'm worth more. It resembles turning a mirror towards them, quietly mirroring their way of behaving also, if you're unaffected to show them. Presently, how would you do this without losing yourself in harshness? Straightforward spotlight on your life, your objectives, your satisfaction. Plunge into exercises that improve you. Be it understanding games, mastering another ability, or on the other hand partaking in the organization of the people who in all actuality do esteem you. This isn't tied in with getting back at somebody. It's tied in with recovering your energy and contributing it where it makes a difference. Once in a while it stings when somebody overlooks us, yet, rather than abiding in that torment, use it as an impetus for development. Fabricate a post of self-confidence. Furthermore, let their lack of interest bob off it. You're not simply getting by. Their rejection. You're thriving regardless of it. This approach doesn't simply show close to home development. It's a demonstration of your inward strength. Don't react emotionally. Try not to react inwardly. Dismissal can sting, making you need to respond to allow your feelings to go crazy. Be that as it may, here's a distinct advantage from the indifferent playbook: smoothness. At the point when somebody brushes you off, it's enticing to let disappointment or bitterness take the driver's seat. Emotionlessness, a way of thinking as significant today as it was in old Greece, offers an alternate way. It proposes embracing a formed, smart reaction. This isn't tied in with stifling your sentiments. It's about not allowing them to control you when you're disregarded. Rather than lashing out or looking for approval, make a stride back. Ask yourself, for what reason is this annoying me? Frequently it's not the actual dismissal, however, our own uncertainties that hurt us the most. Here is where we want to get useful. You're being disregarded. Relax. Consider the reason why this second isn't characterizing you. It's simply that a second. Aloofness trains us to zero in on our activities and reactions, not on others' conduct. So remain well-mannered. Remain kind. In the event that you want to connect, do as such with certified concern, not assumption. This approach isn't tied in with being uninvolved. It's tied in with being expert of your feelings. It's perceiving that your self-esteem isn't attached to others' endorsement. Your power lies by the way you answer, not by the way others treat you. That's a distinct advantage. It is difficult, yet taking on this mindset is groundbreaking. At the point when you summon tranquility even with dismissal, you're not simply dealing with a predicament. Eliminate them from your psyche when confronted with dismissal. Outfitting the specialty of separation turns into a useful asset in your weapons store. This isn't tied in with neglecting or imagining the dismissal didn't sting. About directing experience into something groundbreaking. Begin by recognizing the dismissal, feel its effect, yet, don't allow it to secure your considerations like a skilled mariner exploring difficult situations. Utilize the waves to guide you forward, not to invert your boat. Changing dismissal requires a change in context. Picture dismissal not as a road obstruction, yet, as a diversion sign directing you towards new ways and conceivable outcomes. Investigate exercises that advance your soul and expand your viewpoints. Dive into a book that challenges your reasoning. Take up a game that tests your cutoff points, or on the other hand volunteer locally project that offers a new viewpoint. These aren't simply interruptions. They are venturing stones to self-disclosure and development. Each new experience cuts out a piece of you, making you stronger, more versatile. Likewise, develop a circle of energy. Show your worth. Dismissal stings, but at the same time it's a litmus test for your strength. Rather than shrinking under its weight, view it as an opportunity to uncover your coarseness next time you're evaded in a gathering or disregarded for an advancement. Calmly inhale. Rather than blending a tempest of self-indulgence or sharpness, channel that energy into helpful activity. Work on a venture that features your abilities, or on the other hand proposition to lead another drive. Your worth isn't decreased by others' oversight. It's a chance to sparkle more brilliant. Courageous by the shadows of excusal, recall that familiar adage, when one entryway shuts, another opens. That's not simply pointless talking. It's a diagram for activity. Dismissal isn't an impression of your value. It's a redirection to where you're required more. In the event that you're ignored for a job, perhaps it's the universe pushing you towards something that adjusts better with your abilities and interests. Utilize this as an impetus to rethink and realign. What are your center assets? How might you turn to capitalize on them? It's tied in with making your example of overcoming adversity, one where each difficulty is a setup for a rebound. This isn't tied in with putting a grin over frustration. It's tied in with embracing the full range of feelings and afterward pushing ahead with beauty. Apathy trains us to zero in on what we have some control over our activities. Furthermore, responses when confronted with dismissal. Practice sympathy, both for you and others. May perhaps that partner who ignored you is fighting their own insecure. Remove contact. Quiet isn't simply the shortfall of sound. It's an amazing asset in your profound toolbox, particularly while managing dismissal. Envision you've been overlooked or turned down. Your intuition could shout to fix it, to contact, overcome that issue. Be that as it may, here's where you turn the tables. Embrace quiet. There's actually no need to focus on messing around. It's tied in with recovering your power when you decide not to respond. Not to besiege with messages or calls. You're making a stride back. This interruption isn't only for them. It's for you to recalibrate. To recollect your value isn't attached to somebody's endorsement. How about we dig further? This quietness isn't latent. It's dynamic and vital. You're not simply pausing. You're reflecting and developing. It's a chance to pull together on your objectives, your interests, your life. Consider it a reset button, giving you lucidity and strength. This time of no contact isn't cold or harsh. It's a limit you set for your psychological harmony. It's platitude I regard myself an excessive amount to pursue or ask. Disprove them. The specialty of utilizing dismissal isn't just about provoking. On the off chance that you're considered as uncreative, set out on a venture that features your inventiveness. Whenever marked as uncertain, allow your reliable activities to be your reaction. This quiet unrest of personal development isn't a fight against others' insights, yet a campaign for individual greatness. Furthermore, when you impact the world's story about you moves to the genuine substance of refuting them. Lies not in changing their perspectives, yet in changing your own mental self-portrait. Your excursion of personal development won't just shock others, yet additionally reclassify how you might interpret your abilities. This isn't just about discrediting them. It's tied in with rethinking how right affects you. What's more, in this excursion, the best triumph is the acknowledgement that the main approval that genuinely matters is the one you give yourself. Go out and have a great time. Life's actual quintessence sparkles most splendid when we step outside our usual ranges of familiarity. Embracing delight isn't just about having some good times. It's an essential move to construct strength. When confronted with dismissal, the regular response is to pull out, to stew in the harshness of the experience. Yet, here's a turn. Counter that sense by intentionally searching out delight. This isn't tied in with disregarding your sentiments. It's tied in with giving them another jungle gym. Furthermore, whether it's investigating another side interest or returning to an old energy. The actual demonstration turns into an assertion of insubordination against the heaviness of dismissal. People are social animals, also, there's monstrous power in shared encounters. In your excursion to use dismissal, recall the worth of your clan. Welcome companions for a climb. Join a local area craftsmanship project or essentially share a dinner. Construct your economic well-being. Envision you're in a room disregarded, practically imperceptible. Here lies your secret open door. Apathy trains us to turn such snapshots of dismissal into impetuses for self-awareness. Rather than looking for approval and spotlight on self-improvement, what's more, local area contribution, this isn't tied in with ascending a social stepping stool. It's tied in with ascending your own stepping stool of self-improvement. Exercises like actual wellness, investigating leisure activities, or progressing in your vocation aren't simply undertakings, they are your devices to cut out a more grounded, stronger self. Ponder sharing your excursion not so much for commendation, but rather for association. At the point when you discuss your inclinations or accomplishments, allow it to be an extension to find other people who reverberate with your story. This isn't a technique to assemble supporters, yet an earnest endeavor to track down similar spirits by taking part in chipping in or organizing. You're not simply adding lines to your list of references. You're winding around an embroidery of significant connections. This approach is well established in unemotional way of thinking, where self-improvement and adding to everyone's benefit are entwined. In building your societal position, go about as though they don't exist. When confronted with somebody who disregards you, in some cases the most grounded reaction is a peaceful one. There's actually no need to focus on being negligible or cold. It's tied in with regarding your own tranquility. Assuming that somebody decides to disregard you, let them. Try not to squander your energy attempting to get their attention or flash a discussion. All things being equal, divert your consideration in a group environment like a party. This could mean turning toward somebody who esteems your organization. Begin a discussion there. It's tied in with perceiving that your value isn't characterized by another person's affirmation. In the undeniable convergences where you should collaborate with this individual, keep up with incredible skill, keep discussions brief, direct, and without any trace of individual profundity. This isn't tied in with showing them up. It's tied in with appearing for yourself by keeping it totally straightforward. You're not giving space for superfluous show. A position expresses I'm hanging around for what's significant, not for the play. Give them the silent treatment. Picking quiet even with lack of interest isn't tied in with getting the high ground. It's tied in with keeping up with your pride. Apathy trains us to utilize quietness not as a way to incite or control, in any case, as a device for self-reflection and profound dominance. At the point when somebody disregards you also, you answer with quiet, allow that quiet to be a time of contemplation. It's a chance to figure out your sentiments, to filter through your viewpoints, furthermore, to track down clearness. This isn't tied in with rebuffing the other individual. It's tied in with protecting your internal harmony. In this quietness, there's a significant chance for self-awareness. There's really no need to focus on closing down. It's tied in with opening dependent upon yourself. Apathy ISM urges us to utilize these minutes to ponder our ideals, our qualities, also, how we need to draw in with the world. It's an opportunity to ask ourselves, for what reason does this irritate me? What might I at any point gain from this? How might I develop? This sort of quiet is productive, not disastrous. These systems are certainly not simply mental, they're profoundly established in the standards of discretion, poise, and self-awareness. They're not tied in with getting over dismissal, but instead developing through it, transforming it into a significant device